Hello out there and welcome to the No Shit Cast. I'm your host, Matt Frazier. Got an interesting batch of stories for you today, folks, on the shit you should know. Well, I guess shit I think you should know. To lead off, we have an article from Vox. Alarming headline: Scientists added human brain genes to monkeys. Yes, it's as scary as it sounds. Some are calling the Chinese experiment an ethical nightmare. Yeah, you think? Scientists in China have created a new kind of monkey. It's got a human brain gene, and that just might make its intelligence a little bit more like ours. That in turn makes its fate and its very existence very ethically fraught. The author of this is Samuel. He goes on to say, of the 11 transgenic macaque monkeys that they generated, 6 died. The 5 survivors went through a series of tests, including MRI, brain scans, and memory tests. It turned out that they didn't have bigger brains than a control group of macaques, but they did perform better on short-term memory tasks. Their brains also developed over a longer period of time, which is typical of human brains. Although the sample size is very small, the scientists excitedly described the study as, quote, the first attempt to experimentally interrogate the genetic basis of the human brain origin using transgenic monkey models, which I think is a lot of really scientific-y speak for saying shit like they're kind of reverse engineering how the brain evolved. In other words, part of the point of the study was to help tackle a question about evolution. Well, there, yeah, see? How did we humans develop our unique brand of intelligence, which has allowed us to innovate in ways other primates can't? The Chinese researchers suspect that the MCPH1 gene is part of the answer, but they're not stopping there. One of them, Bing Su, a geneticist at the Kunming Institute of Zoology, told MIT Technology Review that he's already testing other genes involved in brain evolution. Quoting from that article, one that he says he has his eye on is SRGAP2C, a DNA variant that arose about 2 million years ago, just when Australopithecus, yeah, that's a word, Australopithecus, was seeding the African savanna to early humans. That gene has been dubbed the humanity switch and the missing genetic link for its likely role in the emergence of human intelligence. Sue says he's adding it to monkeys, but that it's too soon to say what the results are. Well, I think if you want to get Planet of the Apes type shit, that's how you start. I mean, I guess, I don't know, I could be crazy, but that just, I mean, have they not seen Jurassic Park? I mean, you just don't do this shit. From the War Zone, this is the publication is The Drive. U.S. Air Force Secretary gives ominous warning that shows that show of force needed to deter space attacks. But serious questions remain about what an all-out war in space would even look like and what hostile actions would automatically demand a response. And I'm kind of, this article popped up for me again because obviously, you know, the United States is forming the Space Force. And we just saw this with India blowing a satellite up in orbit and what kind of mess that causes. It's a big freaking deal. And anything you do in space, you can just add like, I mean, everything the military does is stupid fucking expensive anyway. But anything you do in space, take everything the military does and put like a times 100 multiplier on it. So, and the problem with shooting shit and blowing things up and being all gung-ho and good to go in outer space is that that debris, unless it's knocked out of orbit, will stay in orbit, and we will end up with just an enormous like cloud of shit and no satellites. So it would just be a terrible idea. So on a lot of fronts. But this is, anyway, let's go into this article. Outgoing Secretary of the Air Force Heather Wilson says the United States may need to conduct a show of force to deter opponents, such as Russia and China, from attacking U.S. military satellites in space. But it wasn't entirely clear whether this would involve demonstrating the ability to attack an adversary's own space assets only, or if it would even show an ability or willingness to attack hostile space-based systems at all. This cuts to a larger issue that no one really knows for sure what a war in space would actually look like, though the United States is certainly working to answer that question. Wilson offered a review on the future of potential conflict in space to reporters on the sidelines of the Space Foundation's 35th Annual Space Symposium, which began on April 8, 2019. Other Air Force and U.S. officials have also used the event as an opportunity to highlight the very real and growing threats to vital satellites that support critical military capabilities, such as long-distance communications, navigation, weapons guidance, early warning, ballistic missile defense, and the intelligence gathering. Defending those assets have been an increasingly hot topic in recent years. The President Donald Trump's administration has gone so far as to propose the creation of a sixth military branch, the Space Force, to focus on these issues. So, did I say this is from Joseph Trevithick? Yeah, I could be murdering that, but there comes a point where we demonstrate some of our capabilities so that our adversaries understand they cannot deny the use of the space without consequences. Let's go get them. Wilson said, according to the Daily Beast, that capability needs to be one that's understood by your adversary. That's right. Get up there and show them how big your dick is, fellas. And according to Air Force Magazine, they need to know there are certain things we can do, at least at some broad level, and the final element of deterrence is uncertainty. How confident are they that they know everything we can do? Because, oh, Jesus Christ. This stuff gets expensive quick. Public to vote for name of minor planet in our solar system. This comes from Sky News. Let's see here. The author is somebody. I don't know why they're not putting the authors' names at the tops of these pages. It's kind of bizarre. Well, anyway, Sky News. Astronomers have invited the public to help decide the name of a planet in our solar system. The minor planet was discovered in 2007 in the Kuiper Belt that orbits the sun beyond Neptune and is currently known as 225088 2007 OR10. That's very data technical. U.S. scientists who found the planet have now proposed 3 names for the public to vote on. Well, that's not giving the public the right to vote for the name of a planet. You pick up 3 choices. It's no choice. What the hell is this shit, scientists? With the winner set to be submitted to the International Astronomical Union as a formal suggestion. It's just a suggestion, too. Okay, fuck off. You guys don't understand how this voting shit works. In other news, 5,000 PX owners slammed for claiming copyright to the black hole image. Talk about Douchebagger of the Year award. This is from Michael Chan at Petapixel. Apparently, a Visual China group, the Getty Images of China, and owner of 500 PX, did I say 5,000 PX? 500 PX has sparked an outcry after it attempted to claim copyright to the first ever black hole picture that became a worldwide sensation this week. After the groundbreaking black hole image was published by the Event Horizon Telescope Collaboration, or EHT, on April 10th, it was soon made available through VCG's leading stock photo service in China with the VCG watermark splashed across it. But the problem was EHT had released the image for free distribution under the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International License. So they said, no bitches. This is an editorial image. Please call some phone number or consult for our customer service representative for commercial use. VCP page for the image stated, according to TechCrunch. Concerned Chinese netizens also turned to social media to share a chat conversation with a VCG rep. When asked whether the picture belonged to VCG, the rep stated yes. And when asked whether the image needed to be purchased for the use on a poster, the rep replied that it does not, or does indeed need to be licensed before it can be used. What assholes. Mine. Greedy fucks. From USA Today, U.S. establishes $20.4 billion fund to bring 5G to rural America. What 5G means to you? Well, I can tell you what it means. It means Booger and Scooter are about to get high-speed internet, bitches. Woo! This is from Edward C. Baig, B-A-I-G, Baig. The Trump administration is looking to lead in the global race for 5G supremacy with an eye on rural America. At the White House Friday, President Trump and Federal Communications Commission Chairman Ajit Pai announced plans to hold the 5G spectrum auction on December 10th, further opening up the airwaves that can be deployed by commercial 5G wireless operators. This would be the largest spectrum auction in U.S. history and covers 3 radio frequency bands, all part of the government's ongoing 5G fast plan strategy. I know there's a lot of people I'm seeing, and I haven't seen a lot of data on it or science on it per se, but I know there's a lot of people bitching about 5G and health risks. I don't know. I guess being bombarded by microwaves, even at low wattage constantly, probably can't be a good thing. So the U.S. also plans to establish a $20.4 billion rural digital opportunity fund. Translation, boondoggle, to build out high-speed broadband networks in underserved parts of the country over the next decade and connect up to 4 million homes and small businesses. The hope is that the fund, which will launch later this year, will help close the digital divide. So that's going down. Like I said, Bubba and Skeeter and Booger are about to get high-speed internet. This comes from Boing Boing. Marketers intentionally enrage social conservatives to promote brands, which is welcome to the school of no shit. Cottonelle and Walmart have both recently produced social media video commercials starring gay men. Predictably, social conservatives flipped out, calling for boycotts and for their God to mete out punishment against the evildoers. According to Curtis Sperrier, Bospar PR principal, this is exactly what Cottonelle and Walmart were counting on. See, when they get you pissed off about shit, you share it, dumbasses. It looks like the marketers for both Walmart and Cottonelle were counting on social conservative outrage to drive their business objectives, said Curtis Sperrier, Bospar PR principal. Man, that is a lot to say. So said this douchebag from this PR company. Neither video was a traditional broadcast segment, but rather produced for social media. So conservatives didn't simply stumble across these segments, but rather they were, here you go, alerted to them, likely by the companies themselves. See, you're in the marketing group. It's how it works. I just feel my words are wasted, so moving on. No Ridge Science Report by No Ridge. Scientists confirm antioxidant supplements linked to cancer growth. Oh, wouldn't that be just fucking ironic, right? The research was conducted by a team at the University of Gothenburg, Sweden. Is that like a real Gothenburg, Sweden? Many people take antioxidant supplements to protect against cancer. The idea is that antioxidants prevent cancer because they neutralize so-called free radicals. However, this idea has been challenged by several recent studies. They found that antioxidants protect not only healthy cells in the body, but they also protect the cancer cells. Awesome. There's some evidence that the intake of antioxidant supplements is linked to increased tumor growth, however. In the current study, the team tested animals and human cancer tissue that confirmed that some antioxidants may boost the growth of several types of skin cancer. In addition, antioxidants supplants may increase the spread of lung cancer. Well, yeah, remember when eggs were bad for you too? It's like you just never fucking know anymore. Stuff's crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure why that opened. Let's try something different here. Some tragic news out of the UK. This comes from the Straits Times. A comedian dies on stage after joking about death. I can't think of probably a better way, though, that a comedian, if they had to choose to go, would want to go. A British comedian died on stage minutes after joking with the audience about dying. Stand-up comedian Ian Cognito was performing a show at the Attic Bar in Bicester. It's probably Bicester, in southern England on Thursday. The show's host, Andrew Bird, told the BBC Cognito was not feeling well before going on stage, but insisted on performing. Bird said the 60-year-old had even joked on stage, "Imagine if I died in front of you lot up here." During the performance, the comic sat down on a stool while breathing heavily before falling silent for 5 minutes, Mr. Bird said. He said the crowd had thought it was a joke and continued to laugh, unaware something was wrong. The BBC quoted him as saying, "Even when I walked on stage and touched his arm, I was expecting him to say boo. Once it was clear something was wrong, 2 off-duty A&E nurses and a police officer began chest compressions, and an ambulance was called. He was pronounced dead at the scene." Holy shit. Comedian Jimmy Carr tweeted about Cognito, whose real name is Paul Barbieri. The audience thought it was part of the act. Died with his boots on. That's commitment to comedy. Quote, I'll never forget his kindness when I started out and how goddamn funny he was, Carr wrote. Fellow comedian Jack Whitehall also paid tribute on Twitter, saying Cognito was always so much fun. He had his own mythology on the circuit. His exploits were legendary. Interesting, man. What a way to go. Crazy. Internet trolls tried to undermine Catherine Bowman's role in the black hole photo because, you know, it's the internet and everybody's got to be a douchebag, right? So this comes from CNN, Saeed Ahmed. When internet trolls tried to detract from Catherine Bowman's rise to stardom for her part in creating the first images of the black hole, her colleagues quickly shut them down. Bowman created one of the algorithms that led to the groundbreaking black hole image. She also helped develop the imaging and verification process. However, after a nasty corner of the internet tried to downplay Bowman's role and started spreading posts claiming that Andrew Chale, a white male scientist, was actually the mastermind behind the project, the misleading posts on Reddit and Twitter said Chale alone had authored 850,000 of the 900,000 lines of code and that were written in the historic black hole imaging algorithm. However, the effort quickly backfired. Though it may have been nice to receive more recognition, Chale immediately took to Twitter to explain that online trolls had exaggerated his contributions, and he defended Bowman's work. In addition, Chale said that not only as an openly gay man, he is also an underrepresented demographic in the STEM fields. Once I realized that many online commentators were using my name and image to advance a sexist agenda to claim that Katie's leading role in our global team was invented, I felt I should say something to make it clear I rejected that view, Chale told CNN. Well, that's just the internet, man. It doesn't matter what you put on the internet. Somebody out there is going to have a fucking problem with it. That's why they say opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and I certainly got one. So that's today's roundup, folks. Thanks for listening. Keep hitting them like and subscribe buttons. Show, again, just continuing to grow like fucking mad right now. I'm loving it. I'm loving the energy and the feedback. Thanks for those comments and shares and everything out there, folks. And we'll catch you right back here next time. I'll talk to you then. See ya. Bicycles.